Yo, what up guys, Travic here. Today I want to talk about what my plans are for day one of the new league in Path of Exile 1. As a lot of you guys know, I love to do Blight, and a lot of you guys ask me, how do I do it? What's my plan? What's going on? Well, first and foremost, let's talk about where we are in this test run. Currently, this character has 2,500 life. It has about 10 hours played. It's got a little bit of map progression. It's got pretty basic gloves, armor, belt, boots, ring, amulet, shield, some helmet for resistances, poison concoction or bouncing, and a 4-link. It doesn't have a whole lot going on for it. Essentially, my plan is to get 2 maps and just start progressing my atlas. Once I am able to progress my atlas, get a couple of fusings, jewelers, whatever, sell everything to chaos, my plan is to buy my first tier blighted map. It doesn't matter what tier blighted map I can afford. As soon as they hit the market and I can afford one, I want to buy one. Alongside of that, I want to make sure that I buy 3 amber oils to go along with my first blighted map. Now, essentially, it doesn't matter the tier of the blighted map that you buy, because you want to just clear it to make money, to make enough money to make another map, to buy another map, to do another amber oil set, to do another map, to make more money. And then you're going to rinse and repeat this cycle until you get your character up and running, because Blight for me is one of the best league starting strategies, at least for me. Essentially, what we do is we take our our white tier map. I'm going to do tier 16 at this point because it doesn't matter. And we're going to put 3 amber oils onto our map. The reason that we do 3 amber oils is because it says that 75% reduced cost of building and upgrading towers, 18% increased pack size range. So we make it so that when we do this project now, or we do this map, it is 100% solely tower defense. I'm going to assume a couple hours into the league, you don't have chisels, so we're not going to chisel our map. I am going to assume that we have an alchemy orb, and we are going to alch the map. We are only checking to make sure that the map does not have the following: monsters cannot move below base value, and monsters cannot be stunned. As long as you don't have those 2 mods, you are good to go. So we take a look at our map. We see that we have neither of those, and we're going to throw our map into our map device. Now, early league, you're not going to have a bunch of fragments or anything else to put into the map device. You're just going to have the map because that's all you could afford, and you toss it in, and we hope for the best. Now, what's really cool about this strategy, and we're going to walk it through it, is you don't need gear, you don't need anything. You could be what level am I? 73, and do a tier 16 blighted map, and it'll work great in your favor. First things first, as soon as you talk to Cassia, you're going to notice these are all of your lanes. All of your lanes have immunity. This is immune to fire, immune to fire, immune to cold, immune to stun, immune to lightning, so forth and so on. So what this means is these gray lines are the lanes where mobs are going to spawn because we're playing tower defense, and these are our towers. Now, our towers have 75% reduced cost, which makes them practically nothing to craft. So we're going to craft level 3 frozen, level 3 stun, and then we're going to make a whole bunch of damaging towers that we're going to level all the way to 4. Sentries, I like to level up to the wings. Arc towers over here, I level up to arc towers, and these 2 I leave the way that they are. Essentially, because we have lowered the cost of our towers to practically nothing, you can see based on the building material here that we can make a whole lot of towers and not really have to worry. Now, what's really interesting is the portal here will show you the lane that you're working with. So we see this is lane 2 with fire. And we want to make sure that we build towers that aren't immune to the resistance type. So we see that fire is immune first. So we build a lot of arc and other types of towers. And then we see later on it's going to be immune to fire, and nothing's immune to sentries. So we want to make some sentry towers. As far as things go, in choke points like this, you want to have freezing towers and stunning towers, and you want to empower those towers with an empowering tower. This tower here, can I pause this? Is there a way to pause this? I don't think I can pause this. This tower here will allow you to buff the other towers, so this makes everything else stronger. These going up to tier 4 change the effect of the towers and make them slightly different and require a little bit more planning and preciseness that makes it not as easy to control the mobs. So you really don't always bring them to tower to 4. You just kind of leave this tower green at 3, this one at 3, and this one at 3, and then you level up all of your other towers to 4. What you're going to notice right away is we have built a grand total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 14 different towers already. We're only a minute in. We haven't even begun to do anything, and we have most of this left side of the map covered. We see this side of the map just lit up, so we know that monsters are gonna be coming from this side of the map, and we're just gonna do the exact same thing that we've been doing. We're gonna build our nice stun tower, we're gonna build some freeze towers to cover our choke points, and then we're gonna start building some damaging towers to make sure that mobs can't get through. As you kill these mobs, which you can see with the red dots, your building material is going to go up and up and up and up and up, and you're gonna be able to just completely and utterly build all of the towers that you wanted to build. And this is thanks to the amber oils that we put on the map earlier. That is the key lynch point to everything going on. You can see over here too, even if I want to get cheeky and stun all the mobs over here, I can just build some towers over here, and you can see that boss right there. He is completely stunned. This boss over here, he can't move. That's it. He's cooked and he's dying. I don't have to even attack. And like I said, this character is level 73. This is an eye level 83 map. And before somebody says some crazy stuff, I don't even have ring annoyance on my ring yet. There are no ring annoyance, there's no amulet annoyance. You can go back over this video and check the gear to see what's going on. And the only thing I need to worry about as a player is being able to calmly and precisely build towers without accidentally getting myself killed. And you know what? Even if I do get myself killed, it is softcore. I have 6 portals. All I have to do is make sure that I go back in and start doing what I need to do. Now, the only thing that you need to keep in mind is towers will show up and lanes will show up all over the place. So now we have lanes over here that we need to build towards, and we're just going to do the same thing. We have a whole bunch of juice. We're going to come on over here. We're going to build our towers. We're going to make sure we have some damaging towers, and we're just going to do exactly like we've been doing the entire time. Get our damaging towers up to level 4, get our stun towers down to level 3, and our freezing towers down to level 3, and we're just going to make sure that we cover everything on the map without forgetting about any specific side. So like up here right now, I almost forgot to build towers up here, and we're just gonna come over here and kind of make sure that everything is going according to plan. This tower covers both of those. These guys are gonna get frozen in a second. We're gonna randomly get killed because mobs decided to run out of the lane. And this is all that I mentioned. It doesn't matter if you die as long as you're able to get the towers built and not use all 6 of your portals. Something to keep in mind with everything going on is if you die and have to go to town, the event in itself will stop. So you don't have to worry so much about like, oh my God, I have to go to town, my base, my everything, my this, my that. Blight does indeed stop when you go to town, though when you're loading back in, if your computer's a little slow, it might start up, but you should in theory, most of the time, be a-okay. Now you'll notice on this entire side of the screen, nothing really have gotten through. We haven't lost any of our pump durability, and we are just pretty much good to go. Now, this is a nice wide open map. You can see that there's a lot of terrain and a lot of ground to cover. And, you know, while yes, we had good spawns, it does indeed happen that sometimes on wide open maps, even enclosed indoor maps, you get bad tower spawns and layouts just kind of like don't go your way and you get killed. It's okay. It happens. It's not something to stress over. Now, you're going to see when we finish this event in like 30 seconds, why Blight on day 1 is so impactful. Even like the first week, Blight is just something that's completely crazy and out of its mind, especially now that we have things like asynchronous trade. Actually, like I'm like playing with fire. It's the 31st at 11 a.m. These servers are going to be coming down soon, and I just want to make sure I have this all done. Now we're going to come over here. We're going to build some more towers. We're going to make sure that we can kill these mobs in a reasonable time pace because we don't want to sit here all day. And you can see these bosses, they're just stuck, man. There's nothing going on over there. They don't know what's coming, what's going. And the best part about Blight is you know where mobs are and what's going on based on the lanes. If the lanes are yellow, mobs are still coming out, or mobs are somewhere. We can see that right there. And if the lanes are gray, they're pretty much shut off and you're good to go. Now we're gonna make sure we kill these guys. These guys are nicely dying. I have yet to attack with my poison concoction of bouncing, and like you don't even need to attack. This is why it's great for any character that does anything. If you're looking for characters that excel in this type of content, we'll make a future video about characters that actually just excel in Blight content. But for today's purposes, we want to make sure that we are covering the absolute basis of how to get started in a day 1 scenario. So we see all these lanes are off. We're gonna go follow this lane over here to see where the mob is. That mob was over there, and this is why these maps are so good. Now, this is tier 16 day 1 loot. These are all eye level 85, 86 bases. You have a bunch of jewelers, divinations, chance orbs, random uniques, scrolls, regular scarabs, different scarabs, all kinds of bases that people are going to want to buy early, especially if you're early enough. We're going to come over here. Now, when we do Blight, now next time, if I click these are all going to open at the same time. You can see here, we pick up all these chaos orbs, more bases, more loot, chisels, alchemies, like just gold, wands, everything that you can think of just comes out of these Blight chests, and you get it in like large quantities. Now, before somebody says, oh, but those little small currencies are worthless, yeah, they do become worthless as time goes on. But could you imagine hour 15, hour 20, day 1, day 2, you spend 20, 30 C on a map, and you get a bunch of maps, a bunch of gem cutter prisms, a bunch of other maps, a bunch of different bases, all kinds of rares that you can now just throw on asynchronous trade and not have to worry. Gold, random golden oil, there you go. That pays for the next like 7 maps. You know, you're just set. Everything from here for the next 7 maps, everything for the next like 7 maps is just sheer profit. That's not including all of these low tier oils that people need to buy that you can now just stick on the, Faustus and not have to worry about anything. Just looking at just the oils and just the currency in this one map, not including the black and not including the prismatic, we've made a pretty penny. Just in red oils, this would be 3 to 5 C on day 1. This would be 3 to 5 C on day 1. This would be like close to a divine on day 1, if not more than a divine on day 1. High quality superior gems, more currency chests over here, dropping just more chaos, more scours, more jewelers, more fusings, more gems that we would want on day 1 just to sell to other players or for gem cutter recipe. And then we come over here, we have all kinds of different, belts, rings, amulets, all different kinds of jewels for the minion players, and just a large variety of stuff that in a week 1 scenario is really good. All kinds of bases, all kinds of jewels, just literally everything that you can be thinking of. You have chisels that you could sell, chromes that you could sell. And before somebody says all of this stuff is worthless, in a day 1 scenario, once again, these have value. These have a lot of value, way more than you can think of. These might even be a chaos each in the first day for people trying to complete red maps. You get fusings, you get jewelers, you get chance orbs, you get random scarabs. We saw random uniques, we see oils, we got a golden oil. And before you say, well, if I didn't jackpot golden as prismatic oil, all of these other oils do sell early and players will buy them. Now, somebody's gonna say, well, that first map was a fluke. What the hell? Can you do it again? And we can do indeed another map before we head out. Now, we did dunes on the last one, so we'll do this Mason map. We'll come down over here. Let's just see if I have anything else. We'll put our amber oils on, 75% reduced cost. We're not going to do Blight Ravage today. We're going to save that for a future video. We're going to click on this and we're just going to double check that it doesn't have the 2 mods that we don't want. And it does indeed have one of them. Monsters action speed can't move below base value. And we're just going to do it again. We see chance to avoid ailments, which is okay, which is fine. Monsters can't be possessed. Players cannot regenerate life, mana, or energy shield. I personally don't like that one just for my own sake. And we're just going to remove that one. And this one looks fine here. So we re-roll twice. We come on over to the map device. We throw it right in. And we are off to the races. Go over here. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take a look at our immunities and what's going on here. We're going to see where our towers are spawning. We're going to look for nice little choke points to begin building our towers. We're going to build tier 3 ice, tier 3 fisty tower, tier 3 power thingy merbobber, and then we're just going to build some towers to do some damage. And this lane should be absolutely positively cooked. Now, in future videos too, we'll talk about different ring annoyance, different characters, different setups, different everything. But for today's video, we want to keep it, like I had mentioned multiple times, just as simple as possible for players that in the first day or 2 can make it to Blight maps. They don't have a lot of currency. They're trying to progress their characters and they just need a really easy way to get by and be able to make a little bit of money to start to push their character into that next stage of mapping or early bossing or getting their 2 stones, whatever the case may be. Some people just want to play their league starter for a few days and make a little bit of currency. And this is a great way to do that, to bring you into the next tier of everything. Now you see here, we have these two towers here. They're already killing mobs before they can even make it to our choke point. Our choke point over here is just utterly getting obliterated. We have nothing to worry about. And we're just gonna make sure that the backside of our pump here kind of doesn't get overrun. We wanna make sure that we build some towers. We see there's no towers in the, no towers anywhere. So we're just gonna build them over here. And we're gonna wait for other towers to start spawning. And we're just gonna do exactly what we've been doing without hesitation. The first towers that you want to make sure that you have up and running are these stun and freeze towers, because you want to make sure that nothing is going to get by and you don't have anything to worry about. You can actually see the ice tower right there starting to freeze the enemies in place, and it just gives us enough leeway to get by. And come over here, check out what's going on over here. There is indeed a boss. He's going to try to kill us. We're going to move out of the way, and the boss is going to get frozen and stunned beautifully right there. And now if we had taken those map mods earlier where monsters can't move below base value, we would have been in a different scenario. That guy might not have gotten frozen and he might have walked past our towers, and that would have been a little bit disastrous. And we are doing our best right now to avoid any kind of disasters. Now you see that boss died. We got a whole bunch of building materials. We were able to build a whole bunch of extra towers, and we're just going to cover all of our bases and build extra choke stopping points to just make sure that nothing can get through and we don't have to worry about anything. The last thing that we want to do is not build enough towers, and because we have amber oils, well, we can build to our heart's content, and we should absolutely be taking advantage of amber oils and building as many towers as our computer can handle, because that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to stop you inside of blight farming. Is, does your computer blow up because you don't build enough towers, or you have too many towers going on, so forth and so on. So let's come over here. Let's do the exact same thing we've been doing. Let's build some freeze and stun towers just to be on the safe side. We probably built too many in this little corner right here. Nothing's probably going to die right away, but that's going to be a-okay. We can fix that and solve that later if we need to. We build a bunch of towers. I want nothing getting through, man. I don't want to have to worry about a damn thing. Okay, see the stun tower right here doing work. Now the biggest reason we have the stun and freeze tower working together is just to give us double protection against the enemies. You can never be too safe. You always have to make sure that you protect your base just like you protect anything else. And you don't want any leaks, because leaks lead to things like explosions in your base and the loss of loot, and that's just the last thing that we want. Just trying to think of how I can make some sort of like humorous joke there, but everything just didn't work out of my head. So we're just gonna keep yapping and rambling while we go for the next minute 15. And you see, once again, all of the mobs just stunned in place. Nobody's able to move. Everything's dying. That boss is just not knowing what's coming, what's going. He's dying, he's chilling, and we have nice wide open maps that make it a little bit difficult. You saw towers took a minute to spawn in. They weren't the best of locations to begin with, and then they started to like fill out as time went on, and we are cruising. Now you see this boss right here. He's moving, he's grooving, he's moving, he's grooving. We're not going to build towers here purposely, because you want to see how this choke point and how all these towers did all of this damage before he even got to the choke point, because we overwhelmed the mobs with damage. He barely even made it to the choke point before he was dead, because like I said, we are taking full advantage of amber oils and just how to handle everything without having to worry. Bro, I haven't even attacked once. Do you guys even know what poison concoction and bouncing looks like? This is what my attack looked like. I haven't even attacked one time in this video until just now. Holy dude, can you imagine doing content and never having to attack, wearing practically no gear at all? I don't even have a weapon because of poison concoction and bouncing. My gear is absolute booty cheeks. I didn't even have real flask yet. My passive and atlas tree got nothing going on. Ain't nothing, bro. We a mess. Level 74 doing 83 content, getting experience, leveling up gems, not having to worry about a damn thing, and just literally all of the free loot that you can handle. These mobs are gonna die there, and then we're just gonna wait for this little last pack of mobs over here. And these mobs are now dead, and there you go. Now, and some nice unique chests, more oils. And you can see just how fast that like these early uniques, like day one or so, they'll be worth something, especially if you're early enough. And then look, we have some fractured items that we could pick up. You know, you can ID these fractured items. Maybe you get a good fracture. Sometimes you even get synth items. There's another fracture base. There's more maps. There's scours. There's another golden oil. I mean, the next like 7 maps. I mean, dude, we're covered for like the next like 12 maps, 13 maps, bro. Everything is sheer profit at this point in a day one scenario. Holy. Now these will probably get changed. We won't be getting these splinters next league, but you know, they're still there. There's some breach rings. I don't know what they're gonna do with Blight chests. I'm assuming they're gonna turn into something else, or they're gonna be gold chests, or they're gonna be some sort of currency. So we'll see what happens. And then you see here, right in the middle, you have red maps, scouting reports, jewelers, Alex fusings, all kinds of bases that you can list to sell early that people would probably want to mess around with. You have all kinds of, once again, these ghastly eye jewels for all the minion players. I know they are going to love these. And once again, the best part too is now in the next update, once I click one of these chests, all of the chests in the area are going to open up. So less clicking all around, really good thing to have. Armor, scraps, sepias, teals. Oh, I can't wait for League starting to be getting around to doing these. This is going to be absolutely great. Come over here, do this, bang these open. Come on over here, come on over to the Blight stuff, hit all these, get some stack decks. And then who knows, you know, you could sell your stack decks on day one, or you could just Headhunter card, or you can Apothecary, or you can Mirror of Kalandra. No luck there. But that is day one Blight. That's how you do it. All you need to do is buy your first map. Once you buy your first map, buy 3 Amber Oils, and you are completely off to the races. I hope the league start for you guys is absolutely fantastic. I will see you after trick-or-treating. I will be live on Twitch and YouTube. You guys can check me there. I'll be live streaming all weekend for league start. And then, you know, I'll keep posting updates. We'll do more Blight videos, more strategies, how to move into Blight Ravage, other Blight builds, and so forth and so on. But for now, friends, let's get this video to you guys. Have a wonderful league start. May you reign divines, and I'll see you all in the next one.